Hi, Gary here. You know, I get these calls once in a while, and I got one the other day where a parent called and said their daughter was called in a crisis, didn't have money to pay a $300 bill to fix their car to the mechanic. But it was even beyond that they probably needed a new car according to the mechanic. It's going to cost a lot of money, and so she was in a panic. Now, she's a single mom with 3 kids. These are their grandchildren. There's just a lot of issues there, and every time they've given her money in the past, it just kind of seemed like it's got blown away. Nothing's happened to it, got spent who knows where, and so forth. So it's a really difficult conversation because it covers a bunch of different things. Use of money, relationship with the children, with the child, if it's a need or a want we're dealing with here, you know, necessary versus maybe not unnecessary, and how do we deal with this? And it really kind of falls into 3 areas for most of us when we're dealing with it. So we're talking about, let's just call it the boomer generation, parents, aunts and uncles dealing with the millennials at this point, you know, nieces and nephews and children out there. Now, I can tell you the greatest generation still complains a little bit about us, the boomers, but it seemed like hopefully we're beyond all that. But anyway, there's 3 areas here. It's just giving the money outright, hey, do whatever you want with it. There's loaning the money, you know, with an expectation of it coming back. Or it's just saying, hey, in this situation, I'm just going to do nothing. But the spectrum really runs from one extreme to the other. At one end, hey, there's real needs here. I mean, bills got to be paid. They're going to be thrown out of their house. There's health issues, safety issues, you know, things that are really important. And the boomers are very glad to be able to take care of those real needs, all the way up to the wants, where, you know, money is sent to the child, the aunt, the niece or nephew, and all of a sudden you find out they took a trip to Europe and came back and supposedly needed this money for something else. You know, it can really be very disturbing, and you don't necessarily want to call the person that you love on these decisions that they're making, but it does call into question what they're doing with their money, at least by maybe your standards. So this ends up being very, very individual. It's very much these tracks of the relationships that were laid down when these children, nieces and nephews, were very young and built up over time. And so you're at a certain place in time when you're young adults, having needs, having wants, and trying to determine whether or not how this money would be distributed or not down the line. Very, very difficult many times. Well, I want to talk about actual, you know, strategy, because we've seen this working for families who are well-to-do, have the cash and money to be able to do this, but you can do a family bank. And basically what I mean by that is you can loan the money out for down payments, or you can loan the whole amount out for the entire purchase of a home, let's say, or it could be a car, or whatever it happens to be, with the idea that it'd be paid back over time. And just from you know, from a state standpoint or many other issues, you could be interest only for 30 years, and the rates, according to the government tables, are very low right now. They're in the 3% range. You might say, well, why is that important? Well, the money stays in the family. You know, the children, nieces and nephews are paying this interest back to parents or their uncles and aunts, and basically it's a bond rate of return, which is okay, and the money's staying within the family. So it's taking care of these homes or these cars or whatever it happens to be legitimately, where they would have gone out someplace and out and done that. Now that works for that particular situation, but when you get into these outliers where is it a need or is it a want, or, you know, is there tough love taking place here, or what else is happening? It's just these financial, non-financial issues just start to get pushed together. Money's affecting life decisions affecting money decisions, just this constant interaction back and forth. So if you run into these situations, we get quite a few calls on this. It's a very difficult area for most folks. You know, certainly give us a call. It will be specific to that individual situation. We'll help you think through that. You guys can make these decisions, no problem. It's just kind of thinking through the different ramifications and the way it works, especially when it's dealing with your money and everything else that's going on. So until next time, enjoy.